Buckle up, business builders, because we're about to crack open the code of greatness. This ain't your average, dusty management book. Jim Collins' Good to Great is a thrilling page-turner, packed with real-world stories and battle-tested strategies that'll transform your good company into a legendary one. Think Lord of the Rings for the boardroom, with hobbits replaced by CEOs and the Balrog morphed into, well, maybe stagnant profits and lackluster growth. Collins takes us on a captivating quest, dissecting 11 companies that defied the odds, soaring from good to great, and leaving their competitors in the dust. We'll meet iconic names like Walgreens, Nucor, and Fannie Mae, and uncover the secrets that fueled their meteoric rise. But beware, this journey ain't for the faint of heart. Collins throws down some brutal truths, forcing us to confront the harsh realities that hold most companies back. He challenges us to ditch the good enough mentality and embrace a relentless pursuit of excellence. So, if you're ready to unlock the greatness within your organization, tune in. This podcast will equip you with actionable insights, battle-tested frameworks, and the inspiration to propel your company to epic heights. Remember, the only good business is a growing one, and Good to Great holds the map to get you there. Are you ready to join the quest for greatness? Hit subscribe and let's dive in. Calling all bookworms and curious minds. Dive into Datic, your ultimate destination for digesting the essence of mind-expanding books across diverse fields. We're passionate about distilling the wisdom of influential reads into bite-sized bites, making it easy to absorb the brilliance of these literary gems without getting lost in lengthy pages. Especially, we're big fans of management books. The management world is ever-changing, and staying ahead requires fresh insights. That's where Datic comes in. We'll guide you through the latest management trends, explore the works of legendary gurus, and equip you with tools to become a more effective leader and manager. But Datic is not just about management. We also venture into other fascinating realms, from psychology and personal growth to history and science. Our goal is to broaden your horizons, deepen your understanding of the world, and nurture your well-roundedness. So, what are you waiting for? Join us on this intellectual adventure, embrace a lifelong love of learning, and become an avid Datic listener. Subscribe, leave a rating, and share our episodes with your friends. Let's make Datic the go-to podcast for knowledge seekers and inspiration seekers alike. Together, we can cultivate a fountain of wisdom and embark on a continuous journey of growth and fulfillment. Welcome to Datic, your gateway to a world of knowledge and enlightenment, minus the lengthy reading. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Good Enough. Imagine scaling Mount Everest, but stopping just below the summit, basking in the good enough view. Absurd, right? Yet, that's exactly what so many businesses do. They settle for good, mistaking it for the peak of their potential. Jim Collins, in Chapter 1 of Good to Great, throws down a gauntlet. Good is the enemy of great. Think of it like a comfortable prison. You're profitable, stable, maybe even admired. But a gnawing feeling persists. Could we be more? This complacency, Collins argues, is a seductive trap. It lulls us into believing good is enough, when it's actually the silent assassin of greatness. He paints a vivid picture of two fictional companies, Good is Good Enough, Inc. and Great Ambition, Inc. Good is Good Enough chugs along, content with steady profits. Great Ambition, however, is restless. They constantly push boundaries, experiment, and strive for a higher purpose. The results? Stark. Good is Good Enough plateaus, eventually succumbing to market shifts or aggressive competition. Great Ambition, on the other hand, soars, becoming industry leaders and leaving their rivals in the dust. But don't be fooled by the simplicity. This good versus great divide isn't about ruthless ambition or reckless risk-taking. It's about disciplined pursuit, relentless curiosity, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. It's about confronting the brutal facts, but never losing faith, as Collins will explore later. Chapter 1 is a wake-up call. It shatters the illusion of good enough and throws us headfirst into the thrilling, uncomfortable pursuit of greatness. It's not a promise of easy answers, but a challenge to our complacency, a call to arms for every business leader who dares to dream beyond the good enough summit and scale the peaks of true greatness. Remember, the journey to greatness starts with a single step: acknowledging the enemy within, the seductive trap of good enough. Are you ready to take that step? Chapter 2: The Unsung Heroes of Greatness. Forget charismatic CEOs and flamboyant visionaries. In Chapter 2 of Good to Great, Jim Collins throws a curveball, introducing the Level 5 leader, the quiet, humble, almost invisible force behind greatness. Think Gandalf, not Saruman. These leaders, devoid of ego and self-promotion, are the unassuming architects of transformation. Imagine a company struggling, adrift in mediocrity. Suddenly, a new CEO arrives. Not with thunderous pronouncements or sweeping gestures, but with a quiet intensity. They assess, build a strong team, and relentlessly push for improvement, all the while deflecting praise and crediting others. This, my friends, is the Level 5 leader in action. Collins dissects this leadership style into two core traits: humility and will. Not the meek, self-deprecating kind of humility, but a fierce dedication to the greater good, the company's purpose. These leaders put the organization before themselves, their ambition fueled by a desire to build something enduring, not by personal glory. Think of Darwin Smith, the CEO who transformed Kimberly-Clark from a fading paper company into a hygiene giant. He shunned publicity, rarely gave interviews, and celebrated the achievements of his team. Yet, under his leadership, Kimberly-Clark's stock price multiplied 44-fold. But Level 5 leaders aren't pushovers. They possess an unwavering will, a quiet determination to do what needs to be done, no matter how difficult. They confront brutal facts, make tough decisions, and demand excellence, all while maintaining their humility and composure. Think of Coleman Mockler, the CEO who guided Gillette through hostile takeovers and technological disruptions. He held firm to his values, navigated turbulent times, and positioned Gillette for long-term success, all without seeking the spotlight. The message is clear. True leadership greatness lies not in charisma or self-aggrandizement, but in humility, quiet resolve, and an unwavering commitment to building something bigger than oneself. Level 5 leaders are the backbone of great companies, the invisible force propelling them towards extraordinary achievements. So, the next time you think of leadership, remember, greatness often wears a quiet cloak. Look for the humble, determined individuals who put the organization first, the ones who lead with will and humility, and you'll find the true architects of greatness at work. Chapter 3: The Bus Ride to Greatness. Picture this. You're embarking on a cross-country road trip. You have a shiny bus, a detailed itinerary, and a trunk full of snacks. But there's one problem: your passengers. Some are grumbling, others napping, and a few are actively trying to throw you off course. Sound like a recipe for disaster? That's exactly what Jim Collins argues in Chapter 3 of Good to Great. Before you figure out where you're going, you need the right people on the bus. Imagine two companies, both with ambitious plans and fancy strategies. Company A throws everything at achieving their goals, regardless of who's driving the bus. Company B, on the other hand, takes a different approach. They meticulously select the right people, the ones who share their values, possess the necessary skills, and are fired up to join the ride. The results? Predictable. Company A stumbles, their grand plans derailed by internal conflicts and misalignment. Company B, however, thrives. Their shared purpose and complementary skills propel them forward, transforming their ambitious plans into reality. Collins calls this the first who, then what principle. It's a radical shift from the typical what, then who approach, where companies chase grand visions and scramble to find people to fit them. Instead, first who emphasizes building a culture of discipline by attracting and retaining the right people, even if it means letting go of those who don't fit. Think of Wells Fargo, a company on the brink of collapse in the 1980s. Their new CEO, Dick Cooley, didn't immediately jump into restructuring or strategic shifts. Instead, he focused on getting the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and the right people in the right seats. He instituted rigorous hiring practices, weeding out those who didn't embody the company's values. The result? A revitalized culture, soaring profits, and a place on the Good to Great list. But first who isn't just about weeding out bad apples. It's about harnessing the power of the right people. Imagine having a bus full of skilled, motivated individuals, all aligned towards a common goal. The journey becomes smoother, obstacles are tackled collaboratively, and innovation blossoms. So, the next time you're tempted to jump straight into your grand plan, remember, the people on the bus matter most. Invest in getting the right people, cultivate a culture of discipline, and watch your good company transform into a truly great one. Chapter 4. Facing the monsters under the bed. Imagine building your dream house, only to discover a terrifying truth. It's perched on the edge of a crumbling cliff. Ignoring the cracks in the foundation won't make them disappear. In Chapter 4 of Good to Great, Jim Collins throws another curveball. Greatness demands confronting the brutal facts, no matter how scary they might be. Think of two grocery store giants, Kroger and A&P. Both faced similar market shifts, yet their responses differed dramatically. Kroger, led by David Dillon, dug deep, uncovering the harsh realities of changing consumer preferences. They confronted the brutal facts head-on, adapting their strategy and emerging stronger. A&P, on the other hand, chose blissful ignorance, clinging to outdated practices. The result? A slow, painful decline into oblivion. Collins doesn't sugarcoat it. Facing the brutal facts can be gut-wrenchingly uncomfortable. It requires vulnerability, humility, and the courage to stare into the abyss. But he argues that avoiding reality is a recipe for disaster. Like the ostrich burying its head in the sand, companies that choose ignorance set themselves up for a fall. But it's not just about acknowledging problems. It's about understanding them deeply, without blame or defensiveness. Think of Walgreens, on the brink of failure in the early 2000s. Their new CEO, Greg Wasson, didn't shy away from the brutal facts: a bloated bureaucracy, outdated stores, and a disconnect with customers. He embarked on a relentless fact-finding mission, gathering insights from all levels of the organization. This unflinching honesty paved the way for a turnaround that propelled Walgreens back to greatness. However, Collins warns against a dangerous trap: confusing brutal facts with cynicism. Facing reality doesn't mean wallowing in negativity. It's about maintaining a resolute belief in the possibility of greatness, even amidst challenges. Think of Admiral James Stockdale, captured during the Vietnam War and tortured for 8 years. He faced brutal facts every day, yet never lost faith in his ultimate rescue. He understood the harsh realities, but also kept hope alive, inspiring his fellow prisoners. So, how do you confront the brutal facts without succumbing to despair? Collins offers 4 key practices. Lead with questions, not answers. Encourage open dialogue and honest feedback to uncover blind spots. Engage in debate and discussion. Foster a culture where diverse perspectives are heard and challenged constructively. Conduct autopsies without blame. Analyze failures objectively, learning from mistakes without assigning fault. Build red flag mechanisms. Create systems that surface emerging problems before they become crises. Remember, greatness isn't built on denial or wishful thinking. It's forged in the crucible of truth, by confronting the brutal facts with courage, honesty, and an unwavering belief in the possible. Chapter 5. Finding Your Hedgehog. Simplicity at the intersection of passions and profits. Remember the cunning fox in Aesop's fable, flitting from strategy to strategy, never mastering any? Now imagine a hedgehog, calmly rolling into a ball whenever danger approaches. Its simplicity belies its strength. In Chapter 5 of Good to Great, Jim Collins introduces the hedgehog concept, the powerful yet straightforward idea that underpins greatness. Think of 2 companies, Nucor, a steel manufacturer, and Circuit City, an electronics retailer. Nucor, guided by the hedgehog concept, thrived even in turbulent markets. They knew what they did best: minimizing waste and maximizing efficiency, and relentlessly pursued it. Circuit City, on the other hand, chased various trends, never truly excelling at any. The result? Stagnation and eventual collapse. The hedgehog concept isn't a grand vision or lofty goal. It's a simple, crystalline understanding of 3 intersecting circles. 1. What you can be passionate about. What ignites your team's fire? What fills their work with meaning? 2. What you can be the best in the world at. What unique capabilities or advantages do you possess? 3. What drives your economic engine? What generates sustainable profits and fuels your growth? The sweet spot where these circles converge is your hedgehog concept. It's your guiding star, your North Star, the answer to that crucial question: why are we here, and why will we win? Collins provides compelling examples. Walgreens, after facing brutal facts, realized their hedgehog lay in convenient healthcare services, not just selling toothpaste. They transformed into neighborhood health destinations, and greatness followed. Southwest Airlines discovered their hedgehog in low-cost, point-to-point travel, creating a loyal following and industry dominance. But finding your hedgehog isn't a walk in the park. It requires ruthless self-reflection, honest introspection, and the courage to say no to anything that falls outside the circles. It's not about chasing the latest fad or mimicking your competitors. It's about understanding your unique strengths, passions, and economic drivers, and focusing relentlessly on that intersection. The hedgehog concept isn't a one-time discovery. It's a living, breathing entity that evolves and adapts as your company grows. Be prepared to revisit and refine it as you navigate challenges and opportunities. Remember, greatness isn't achieved through complexity or constant reinvention. It lies in embracing simplicity, clarity, and unwavering focus. Finding your hedgehog concept is the key to unlocking your true potential and propelling your organization towards extraordinary achievements. Chapter 6. Building a Fortress of Freedom: The Power of Discipline. Imagine a bustling city thriving without traffic lights, stop signs, or even basic rules. Sounds chaotic, right? That's what Jim Collins warns against in Chapter 6 of Good to Great. Achieving greatness demands a culture of discipline, not a tyranny of control. Buckle up, because we're about to explore the paradox of freedom within defined boundaries. Think of two companies at opposite ends of the spectrum: Nucor, the steel giant, and Rubbermaid, the household products producer. Nucor, despite its blue-collar environment, fostered a remarkable culture of freedom and responsibility. Employees were empowered to make decisions, held accountable for outcomes, and treated with respect. Rubbermaid, on the other hand, implemented rigid controls and micromanaged its workforce. The result? Stagnation in Rubbermaid and continued growth for Nucor. Collins argues that true discipline isn't about external constraints or strict hierarchies. It's about internalizing the hedgehog concept and aligning individual actions with the company's core principles. It's about creating a sense of ownership and responsibility, where everyone feels empowered to contribute to greatness. Think of Amgen, a biotech company led by George Rathman. He believed in fostering disciplined freedom, trusting his employees to make sound decisions within the framework of the hedgehog concept. They didn't need rigid rules or micromanagement. They understood the company's goals and were driven by a shared commitment to success. But discipline isn't just about freedom. It's also about setting clear expectations and holding ourselves, and each other, accountable. It's about creating a stop doing list alongside the to-do list, eliminating activities that distract from the hedgehog concept. Imagine a football team allowed to do whatever they wanted on the field. Chaos, right? Discipline doesn't stifle creativity. It channels it within meaningful boundaries. It allows individuals to experiment, innovate, and take calculated risks, all while staying aligned with the overall strategy. Collins offers powerful tools to cultivate a culture of discipline. Hire the right people. Get the right people on the bus first. Those who inherently embrace the hedgehog concept and thrive in a culture of freedom and responsibility. Led by example. Leaders must embody discipline, consistently making decisions and behaving in ways that align with the core values. Build a stop doing list. Identify and eliminate activities that distract from the hedgehog concept, freeing up resources and focus. Create an environment of accountability. Hold everyone, from top to bottom, accountable for achieving the goals within the defined boundaries. Remember, culture isn't something you create overnight. It's a continuous journey of nurturing shared values, fostering ownership, and holding each other accountable. A culture of discipline isn't a cage. It's a fortress of freedom, empowering individuals to contribute their best within a framework that drives the entire organization towards greatness. Chapter 7. Tech Tools, Not Silver Bullets: Unleashing the Power of Technology. Picture this. You're on a cross-country road trip, but instead of a reliable car, you have a shiny new rocket ship. Cool, right? Not necessarily. In Chapter 7 of Good to Great, Jim Collins throws another curveball. Technology, on its own, won't propel you to greatness. It's about using it strategically, as an accelerator, not a magic bullet. Imagine two companies facing similar challenges: Walgreens, the drugstore giant, and linktodrugstore.com, the online upstart. Linktodrugstore.com, fueled by the dot-com frenzy, invested heavily in technology, neglecting their core principles and customer focus. They became a cautionary tale. Walgreens, on the other hand, adopted technology selectively, using it to enhance their existing strengths, like convenience and accessibility. They emerged as the clear winner. Collins argues that good to great companies don't chase the latest tech fads. They first build a solid foundation based on the hedgehog concept and a culture of discipline. Only then do they consider technology as a tool to amplify their momentum, not create it. Think of Nucor, the steel manufacturer. They weren't the first to adopt new technologies, but they were meticulous in choosing and implementing them. They used technology to streamline processes, improve efficiency, and stay ahead of the curve, all while staying true to their core values and hedgehog concept. This isn't to say technology isn't important. It can be a powerful force for progress and innovation. But remember, technology is a tool, not a savior. Don't get seduced by the shiny bells and whistles. Focus on using it to accelerate your existing momentum and amplify your strengths. Collins offers key principles for using technology effectively. Align technology with the hedgehog concept. Don't get caught up in trends. Choose technology that directly supports your core strengths and goals. Think amplifier, not creator. Use technology to enhance what you already do well, not as a substitute for a solid foundation. Start small and experiment. Don't bet the farm on untested tech. Pilot projects and cautious experimentation are key. Build a culture of technology leadership. Develop leaders who understand both the business and the technology, ensuring responsible implementation. Remember, technology is a double-edged sword. Used wisely, it can be a powerful accelerator on your journey to greatness. But used haphazardly, it can become a costly distraction. Focus on aligning technology with your core principles and using it strategically to fuel your organization's momentum, and you'll be well on your way to achieving remarkable results. Chapter 8: The Flywheel and the Doom Loop, Momentum versus Madness. Remember our cross-country road trip analogy? Picture yourself pushing a massive flywheel to get it going. At first, it takes immense effort, inching forward with each push. But gradually, momentum builds, and soon, the flywheel spins effortlessly, propelled by its own inertia. In Chapter 8 of Good to Great, Jim Collins introduces the flywheel, a powerful metaphor for understanding the journey to greatness. Buckle up, because we're about to explore the forces that propel some companies forward and leave others stuck in a cycle of frustration. Imagine two companies facing challenges: Kimberly-Clark, the paper products giant, and Zenith Electronics, a television manufacturer. Kimberly-Clark, guided by their hedgehog concept and a culture of discipline, embraced a flywheel approach. They made consistent, incremental improvements, building momentum over time. Zenith, on the other hand, chased quick fixes and flashy strategies, lurching from one initiative to another, never gaining traction. The result? Kimberly-Clark soared, while Zenith spiraled into decline. The flywheel represents the cumulative effect of small, consistent actions aligned with your hedgehog concept. Each push, whether it's improving your product, strengthening relationships, or empowering your people, contributes to the momentum. As the flywheel spins faster, progress becomes easier, attracting more energy and resources. It's a self-reinforcing cycle of positive momentum. But beware the doom loop, the dark counterpart of the flywheel. Think of frantically spinning your wheels on icy terrain, making no progress despite immense effort. Companies stuck in the doom loop chase fads, engage in quick fixes, and lack a clear direction. Their efforts dissipate, leaving them exhausted and frustrated. Collins identifies key characteristics of the doom loop: a relentless quest for the silver bullet, obsession with finding the one big thing that will solve all problems, neglecting the power of consistent effort. Tyranny of OR, constant switching between strategies, jumping from A to B to C, never building momentum in any one direction. Undisciplined acquisitions, trying to shortcut the path to greatness by buying success instead of building it organically. Remember, greatness isn't built overnight. It's a journey driven by consistent effort, discipline, and unwavering focus on your hedgehog concept. Don't get seduced by the allure of quick fixes or the pressure to keep up with the Joneses. Stay true to your flywheel, make consistent progress, and watch your momentum build towards extraordinary achievements. So, which path are you on? Are you pushing steadily, building sustainable momentum? Or are you stuck spinning your wheels, frustrated and going nowhere? Remember, the choice is yours, and the flywheel awaits your push. Chapter 9. Beyond Greatness, Enduring Legacy and the Power of Purpose. We've reached the final chapter of our Good to Great journey, but the adventure doesn't end here. In Chapter 9, Jim Collins throws a curveball, revealing that Good to Great wasn't conceived in isolation. It was, in fact, a prequel to his earlier bestseller, Built to Last. So, buckle up, because we're about to explore the enduring legacy of greatness and the power of purpose. Imagine two companies at the pinnacle of success, Johnson & Johnson, the healthcare giant, and Walgreens, the drugstore powerhouse. Both achieved remarkable results, but their journeys differed significantly. Johnson & Johnson, guided by a powerful core purpose, to improve the lives of people around the world, built a legacy that transcended products and profits. Walgreens, on the other hand, focused primarily on financial success, leaving its long-term purpose undefined. Collins argues that true greatness isn't just about achieving financial results, it's about building an enduring legacy that transcends generations. This requires a clearly defined core purpose, a North Star that guides your decisions and inspires your people beyond the pursuit of profit. Think of Southwest Airlines, known for its quirky culture and exceptional customer service. Their core purpose isn't just to sell flights, it's to connect people to what matters most. This purpose fuels their employee engagement, customer loyalty, and ultimately, their long-term success. But defining a core purpose isn't enough. It needs to be authentically lived and deeply ingrained in the organization's DNA. It must be reflected in every decision, action, and interaction. It's not a marketing slogan, it's the beating heart of the company. Collins offers key characteristics of an enduring core purpose. Beyond profit, it transcends financial gain, focusing on making a positive impact on the world. Timeless and enduring, it remains relevant even as the world changes. Emotionally engaging, it ignites passion and inspires both employees and customers. Clearly articulated, it's easy to understand and communicate. Remember, building a legacy isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It requires commitment, consistency, and a willingness to adapt your purpose as needed while staying true to your core values. So, as you conclude your Good to Great journey, ask yourself, what is your organization's core purpose? Does it go beyond profit and inspire your people? Are you living your purpose authentically in everything you do? By answering these questions and taking action, you can propel your organization from good to great and build a legacy that endures for generations to come. This concludes our exploration of Good to Great. Remember, the journey to greatness is yours to embark on. Use these insights, challenge yourself, and most importantly, never settle for good enough. The world needs the greatness that only you can bring. If you're hungry for practical, actionable insights on transforming your organization from good to great, then absolutely yes. This book isn't just theoretical fluff, it's packed with real-world examples, clear frameworks, and thought-provoking questions that will challenge you to examine your own leadership and company culture. Remember the flywheel analogy? It perfectly encapsulates the book's message. Greatness isn't achieved through magic bullets or overnight successes. It's a journey fueled by consistent effort, discipline, and unwavering focus on your core purpose. Whether you're a seasoned leader, an aspiring entrepreneur, or simply someone who wants to contribute to something bigger than themselves, Good to Great offers valuable takeaways. It's a call to action, a blueprint for building a legacy that transcends profits and endures the test of time. So, if you're ready to push your flywheel, ignite your purpose, and embark on the path to greatness, then Good to Great is waiting for you. Remember, the choice is yours. Will you settle for good enough, or will you strive for the extraordinary? The power to create greatness lies within you.